Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ben and Sin. I am Sin. This is
Mr. Ben. You already know.
Why do you have to say you already know? You're such a weirdo. Just say Ben and then Sin again and then Ben and then Sin again and then Ben. So today's
Topic
video is a story time that we were supposed to do on Saturday night after date night, but I was too tipsy. When I came home, I just wanted to sleep. So here we are now going to talk about the story time that I told you guys about in our last video. I mean, technically it's still on time posting wise, it's just recording wise. I told them we were going to record it the same day and we didn't, so that's why I'm pointing that out. How I lost and retrieved this bad boy. Dun, 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 dun. Do you know what I'm singing?
Is this the song that we play in the movies?
Baby shark. Doo, doo,
Oh,
doo.
that. This song got me, bruh.
So, the story of how I lost and retrieved my Apple Watch. So, it was just a regular morning. Well, not really a regular morning because I was in a rush.
Friday?
No, was it a Friday? I don't recall what. It was a Friday. Okay, so it was a Friday. How do you remember the day though?
I don't know, nigga.
Because it's been over a week, right? 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 weeks.
The weekend of Maddie's birthday. That's when it was.
Yeah.
Right?
So this Friday will make it 2 weeks.
So what had happened was I was getting ready for work and a lot of times I don't always do it, which I should probably do more often now because of what happened that day. That morning when I was getting ready for work, I was like, let me double check because you know school started, so let me double check and see how long it's going to take me to get to work. And when I checked the GPS, I put in my work address in. It said that I was going to be backed up at least 20-25 minutes every route that I normally take to work, which means I'm going to be late to work. So I was in a rush. And because of that, I had gotten my aligners and everything. So I hate carrying a purse. But I started carrying my purse again because I was like, I have to carry all this crap to brush my teeth and put my aligners in. I have the carrying case and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I need to have my purse again. So I had my purse. I have my work laptop, which is another laptop bag. So that's 2 bags right there. I carry a water bottle with me everywhere I go. So I had to carry this, my purse, my laptop bag, and I have my keys in my hand. That in itself, just from telling you, my hands were full. So on my way out, I was like, oh crap, I forgot my watch. So I grabbed my watch off the charger and I held it this way. And I said, I'll put it on when I get to the car. I get to the car and I'm so frantically trying to get to work on time that this slipped out of my hand and I didn't even know it. So I got in the car and I was like, I'll just put it on when I get to work. I put all my crap down. I was like, I'll put it on when I get to work. Usually I'm on the phone with my younger sister on my way to work. And when I get there, I make my breakfast while I'm talking to her and all this other stuff because I try to get there early enough to make my breakfast before I have to clock in. And while I was making my breakfast, I was like, what time is it? Do I need to clock in? I was like, oh crap, where's my watch? So while I had her on the phone, I run to my car to try and see if I left my watch on the seat or whatever because I'm like, I don't want anybody to break into my car to take my watch. Lo and behold, I'm turning the car upside down. And I'm like, where's my watch? No watch. I go back inside. I'm like, I do not remember putting it in my purse, but God, please let it be in my purse. Turn my purse inside out. No watch. And I know for a fact I walked out the door with it. So I was like, bruh, let me try and call your cousin, I called you, like, yo, like, I lost my watch. So I had her look here. I called your cousin, I had her look here. She didn't see anything. She even went, literally, when she was about to go outside to check, because, you know, I once I see that my thing was missing, I was like, let me put it on lost mode, because even if it's lost at home, I'll get home and I'll turn lost mode off. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But I was like, let me put it on lost mode so that at least the person who finds it won't be able to use it without knowing my passcode and things like that before I even have to reach the point where I need to erase the watch. So I put it in lost mode, and when you put it in lost mode, it automatically puts like your phone number and all that stuff for them to contact you. I put it in lost mode. I contacted your cousin, and then when she went outside, she didn't see the watch, and literally seconds after I get the notification, Christina's Apple Watch was found by blah 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 address.
This is like pretty much like a house.
Yeah.
From a house.
Yeah, it was like across the street. The address across the street. I don't want to say the address, but it was literally the house across the street that it gave as an address as to where it was found. So I pressed play a sound so that it would prompt the person to look at the watch, see the lost message, and be like, okay, this person knows that the watch is missing. Let me either return it to where I need to return it to, or call the number that's listed there. The person, then I put it on lost mode again, and it updated the address, and then it said the person was up the street. I'm like, bruh, this person is leaving with my watch. I'm like, it's over. So, me being the type of person that I am, I don't take no for an answer. I'll never just accept defeat. I have to fight a little bit before I'm just like, you know what, this was God's plan. I'm just gonna let it go. So I posted a message, and I posted another lost message, and I put, I see you moving. Please return the watch back to where you found it. No answer. Then it updated again, and it said that it was like in, I forget.
Probably like a mile or 2 miles.
Yeah, like a couple miles away. So this person by this time had gotten on the bus and was like gone. Like, he left with my watch. And when I looked at the location, I'm like, yo, this person looks like they're about to go downtown to try and sell the watch, when I'm looking at their location and all that stuff like that. So they took several buses, and then it reached a point where I wasn't getting any updates anymore, right? So the person had either turned off the watch and put it away, or they passed it on. I don't know what they did. Then finally I was like, bruh, I'm gonna put one last lost message. And then that's when you told me try and call like Irvington police to see what the process is to file a police report and all this other stuff. So I called them, and I put the final lost message that said authorities have been notified. And all of a sudden, ring, 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 ring. My phone starts ringing from a number, a Jersey number, and Jersey numbers don't usually call me because I have a PA number. So usually when a Jersey number calls me, I pick up most of the time. So this time I answered, and he was like, hello, this is Rashid. He was like, I just found the Apple Watch. Please don't call the cops. He was like, I was gonna bring it back. I just had some stuff that I was doing, so I couldn't bring the watch back right away. But, you know, please don't call the cops. Don't worry, I'm an honest man. I'll bring it back. And I was like, thank you. I would appreciate it if you brought it back. And then he was like, is there a reward?
Niggas calling for tips.
Bruh, I told him over the phone, I was like, sir, your reward is the police not coming to your house to obtain my watch because it's being tracked. And he was like, okay, I understand. No problem. I'll bring it back. And then I told him what time I'm getting off, and I told him where to meet me, and he said, okay, I'm gonna meet you. So, I'm still at work. It was like a little bit before noon or so when I told him that the authorities had been notified, because I was frantic. I was like, I need to get my watch. Like, I don't care if I have to go to the cops on my lunch break or whatever, but I need to get my watch. So after he told me he was gonna meet me, I'm like, okay, that's done. So I'm gonna deal with him when I get home. But then I get a text message from he texted me from a different number than what he called me from. So I don't know what that was about, but he texted me, and the message he texted me, he was like, hello, this is Rashid, and I'm texting you about your watch. This is my number where you can reach me when you get off work, okay? And like I said before, you're good and don't have to worry about it because it's in good hands. As if he's like doing me the ultimate favor. Like he bought the watch for me. Like, bruh, you're returning my property that you took. Whatever. I just said, okay, thank you. This man started telling me his whole life story. And I'm just sitting here like, this man can't be serious. He said, and I only asked for a reward because I need a blessing for a blessing. Because on the 21st of last month, my father and I were robbed at gunpoint. And I fought the guy off. I slipped and broke 3 ribs. And ever since then, everything's been crashing. And my mother just got hit by an SUV this morning, and I'm finding out now. Sorry for venting, but that's my story. I personally thought it was a BS story.
It was.
But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try and call BS because this man has my watch and I want my watch back. So I don't want to piss him off and him say, you know what? F it. I'm going to sell this watch. So I responded and I was like, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something that I can do for you. That watch was a gift, which is why it's important that I get it back. As you can see from where I live financially, I don't have much. And then he said, I do understand. And then I texted him at 5 when I got off work, and I told him I should be home by so-and-so time. So, while I was waiting outside, Mr. Ben came out and he was standing with me. And I was like, you know what? The guy was nice enough to say that he was going to bring the watch back. I think I'm going to give him something if he does not mention the reward again when he sees me, because I told him I'm not giving him anything because he's not doing me a favor. But the fact that he was honest enough to bring it back, I was gonna give him a little something. I was gonna give him more than what Ben agreed to give him. He was like, no, you're giving him too much, but whatever, neither here nor there. So he comes up. This is where I confirmed that his story was a BS story, because he came up. He didn't even look that old. He sounded way older than he actually looked. But he came up and he was like, hey, how you doing? Handed the watch over. And then he started telling us this elaborate story about how he found the watch. He said, my first daughter was going to school with my brother and they saw the watch on the floor, and he was like, oh wow, I needed an Apple Watch, but he left it. And he called me and told me that he saw it on the floor. So I was going to take my child to LabCorp to get some blood work done, and I saw the watch. So I picked it up, but because I was in a rush to get where I needed to go, I said I was going to figure it out when I come back, try and figure out who it belongs to and blah, 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 blah. Not once did he mention that SUV accident that supposedly happened that morning. But he had to go to LabCorp that morning. So it's like, okay, he's saying all of this stuff, a whole lot of nothing. And then him and Ben, they were just like, you know, thank you. And he gave him his little tip and everything. And then the guy just walked back. But literally the whole time I was thinking, he didn't say nothing about the fact that he was robbed at gunpoint. He didn't say nothing about the fact that his mother got hit by an SUV. But he was saying all of this stuff to get his reward. But nonetheless, I got my watch back intact. It wasn't broken. It wasn't scratched. Still functions. So that means luckily wherever I dropped it, I didn't accidentally run it over. And I don't have Apple Care on it, so if I run it over, this watch is done. So thank God I didn't. Thank God I got it back. And now I learned my lesson, and every single time I leave this house, if I'm putting my watch on, I don't care if it's gonna make me an extra minute late, I'm stopping to snap on my watch before I walk out that door, because I was livid. Not because of the fact that it was lost, but the fact that it was lost and I was tracking it, like, that made me more upset. Like, it wasn't just like when I lost my iPod. When I lost it, I was like, damn it, I lost it, and that was it. But this one, I lost it, and I watched the person go from point A to point B to point C to point D, and it was like, do I really have to like file a report, get the cops, do all this crap just to get my watch back because this person wasn't decent enough to return it to the return address on the lost message? But yeah, that's the story of my watch.
I mean, I'm actually thankful that we got it back, but I mean,
honestly, when I saw that he was like miles away from the house, I told you, I was like, that's it, I'm just gonna let it go. Like, that was probably God just telling me I ain't need to watch anymore, blah blah blah. But I was like, let me just send one final lost message, and if he doesn't answer, it is what it is, I'm gonna let it go. And he was like, no, you need to file a report, no, you need to try and get your watch back, no, you can't let him get away with this.
yeah, but like me, I was gonna wait until I get up from work and track it one last time and then pop up at the crib. I mean, if it's here, I mean, we have to get it. The app's not lying.
Right, and the thing about it was, when I called the police department, they were saying that they have to have the report, and if they walk up to the location where the watch is and the person does not willingly give it up, they have to go back and get a search warrant in order to do that. And they're not gonna do that for an Apple Watch. Like, that's too much for them. For them to come in to your front door, is like a feat for these people. So
it seemed like this dude probably on like probation or some shit.
yeah, I feel like he was scared when the authorities were mentioned, because he could have called me after the first message when he saw it, because I played the sound for him to be prompted to look at the watch, and he looked at it. Because every time you lift the watch, when you have the Apple Watch with GPS on it, once the watch is lifted and it's awoken, it connects to whatever cellular connection that you have, and that's why I was able to track. Every time that it updated where he was, it's because he looked at the watch or he tried to open it. And that's the story of how I lost and got back my Apple Watch. Thank God Almighty that I got it back and that it was intact, in good condition, and hopefully it doesn't happen again, because like I said, I don't have Apple Care, so if I lose it, like, I can't get a replacement. So with that being said, did you like my little story time? I mean, you knew the stories, more so for them. With that being said, we ask that you like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification bell so that you guys are notified when we post again. Without further ado, it is hot and I am hungry.
I'm hungry too.